Hi, y'all.
Hello,
Welcome to the channel. I brought my son,
Mario. That's me.
and today we're going to do some videos. We're going to both try to fit in here, but we're going to do a video on our favorite books from childhood. Now, Mario, do you remember how often we would go to the library when you were little?
All the time, she'd always have me in the library. I'd always have a book that I was reading or something that she handed down to me. So.
Yes. Oh, and you got to speak louder.
Oh, is it quiet?
Yes. I have a mic, but I didn't put it in because we're in a really big hurry today.
Yes.
But yeah, I take them to the library like every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, Genesee County Library. And we would go and we would get books and movies and, you know, do activities and things like that. So
eventually, I got to the point where I was going to the library myself, or I'd go into my school library, and you'll see some of those books today.
yes. So I thought we'd just do a little video, especially since it's back to school time, about some of our favorite books. I'm going to start off first. So it's really interesting, but my favorite book growing up was, of course, Little House on the Prairie books. I have a whole stack, but I just brought Farmer Boy. We read in, I think, 4th grade. And I read it again with him when he was in school.
One of my favorites.
And The Long Winter. But yes, this was a very good series for me. I used to watch the show with my grandmother and then just reading the books and just seeing how, I think, blessed I was to live in a time that had running water and inside toilet.
Yeah.
It just made things so much better for me and more appreciative as a child. Laura Ingalls Wilder's story is amazing because she was a school teacher, which I was a school teacher, and then also because she became a writer later in life through her daughter. And I just thought it was really good. It was just a really good story, really heartwarming. And this is a series that I go back and read every few years, the whole series.
The whole series.
So I would rate this as a 5-star read for kids, especially for young girls and boys.
Definitely. And this is something you can read as a family. It's really brings us together.
Yeah.
Something that we can all relate to in some way or another and learn about history as well as literature.
Yeah.
So I, of course, like I said, my mom brought me into this reading world, and one of the books that she gave to me, I overlooked it for a long time. I wasn't really into series, and it just didn't appeal to me. But if you can see that, it's a series of unfortunate events, one of the greatest series that I've read. You may know it better by the movie or the Netflix series that came out. But this is an exceptional book. It really is written for younger audiences. I would say maybe around 10 years old. But it's something that can be read by people of all ages. And what's really intriguing about this storyline is it's so unique, as well as being dark. You know, something that you might not particularly expect for a young audience, but I think it's great to bring your children up into the world, not only through physical learning experiences, but as well as by reading about it. Once again, this is an environment I wouldn't want to be in, but it's something that I think young readers can take a lot from.
It also helps you use your imagination.
Yes.
So
it's a whole new world.
It's a whole new world. It's
so
a totally different world, different way of doing things. You know, I also think it makes you appreciate your parents because these kids are orphans.
Yes. and that sibling bond that you can develop and the importance of family.
Yeah.
I believe one of the books, the whole storyline is it takes a village to raise these children. So, family is the one.
Okay, so this book I saw. So you know how they had the Scholastic book.
Scholastic Book Fair.
Yeah.
Book fair?
So they had the Scholastic Book Fair, but they also had the little magazine that they would give out every month or whatever. And so my mother was so kind as to purchase me this book. Now, the book that I had, I don't think it was the same length as this. I think it was small. But this book has stayed with me since I was little. It's about this girl who was very poor, and everybody around her had more money than her, and she only had one dress. It's called The 100 Dresses. And so she always said, I have 100 dresses, but she would draw the dress. At the end, she drew the dresses. And the book is told through the mind of somebody that went to school with her. And as a person who did not grow up the wealthiest and went to school with people who were more privileged than me, I think that this played a part with me because my parents weren't into like the name brands or anything like that for kids. So, you know, it just stayed a part of me, like, oh, there was a girl like me who didn't have, I mean, I had more than one dress, but, you know, didn't have. So this has stayed a part with me. And I saw this at, I think I saw this at Goodwill or somewhere like that. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God. And I picked it up. So I was like, I was trying to read it to my daughter, but she didn't really get into it, but maybe later she will.
We got to get her onto the reading scene as well.
We really do.
And I saw this as
It's
Newbery Honor.
Newbery Honor.
So.
Yes. I think that it's important to get kids started on reading really early. I've tried with all of my kids, but the littlest one, she hasn't really taken to it, but she does like comics.
Yes. And that's a start, of course. Now, as you can see directly above me right here, there's a gap in my bookshelf, right? And so that's because I've taken my favorite books down. So one of my favorite book series, and you'll notice a theme here, is The Hunger Games. Suzanne Collins, excellent book series. I started on this one particularly young as well, maybe around 12, 13. Excellent book series. I'm sure you all have seen the movies, but many readers will tell you the books are always better than the movies.
Yes,
It's just one of those things. Now, I love her writing. I think she's an excellent author. She really captivated me as a young reader, and it's something that was really engaging, imagination, adventure, action, as well as romance. And I love romance, but it has everything you could ask for in a book, as well as being a unique and creative structure that I think reflects our society currently, especially America. But it's just really engaging, and truly tells a lot of good stories and lessons.
Yeah, it does have a lot of good lessons in it, like the separation of people, the separation of class, and the importance of treating people fairly.
Yes.
And that we're all people, and not to treat people like they're just objects or cattle that you can just treat any way that you want to. But I actually got him onto that, and I kept on telling him, oh, this is so good, this is so good, this is so good. And then finally, but if you notice, I got these from Goodwill, and that's a good place to go to for kids. Is because a lot of times it takes them longer to read the books than it does us adults, because we're going to put the grind to the metal at the library. And you don't have to worry about a book being destroyed, somebody spilling juice on it, or anything like that. Goodwill is a good place to go to, and it's affordable.
I will admit, I have not read the newest books, The Ballad of Songs and Birds or whatnot.
I need to.
But these 3 books changed my whole life, actually. I wouldn't be the same without them.
So then the next series, The Babysitter Club. So The Babysitter Club is a good story. It's about, I think, 4 girls that start a business where the friends is a mishmash of friends, like different personality styles, and they start a business. Female entrepreneurship. It also deals with, different personalities working together and being responsible. Things that you want in your children, especially girls. Now, I read this series as a regular book, but now they make the series as a comic book. And At first, I was a little,
Skeptical.
yeah, because I want my daughter to be able to read complete sentences, you know, the whole thing. It's especially as a degree in English, that's very important to me. But um, another thought came into my mind that I want her to be able to read, and I want her to read what she likes. So if she likes comics, if this is a gateway to her reading, then that's where I'm gonna go. So they do make these. They sell them at Target. They sell them everywhere. I even seen some at TJ Maxx. But it's a really good series. It has a lot of books in here. This is a ninth book, and I'm glad that they've upgraded it. Even though it's, you know, even the stories are the same, but even though it's comics, I am glad they upgraded and bring it out to a new audience.
And I think this will be a gateway for someone like our sister who's not really into reading to delve into that world through the pictures, the art. You know, everybody has their own way of perceiving the world, so that's a great way to do it there. So the next series, of course, that I have, also by Suzanne Collins, and I believe her better and best series is Gregor the Overlander, or the Underland Chronicles. So this, isn't it beautiful though? It's like a rainbow. This is probably my all-time favorite book series. And it is about a young boy from New York who discovers this pathway underground into this new world full of rats, bats, humans, and other creatures, right? And they go by different names because they, it's almost like, can we pause it? I can't think. I actually. So, Gregor the Overlander, it really is about the young boy and his ventures in the Underland. And once again, similar to the other book series that I mentioned, it talks about the human condition. So we have things like war, prophecy, issues like racism, segregation, as these species are separated and their differences create conflict. But you'll also notice companionship between the bats and the humans. And that just goes to show that although we have our differences, there is a way to bring us together. In this case, it is unfortunately war and conflict, but it highlights the importance of forming alliances, friendships, something that I think is important for young children to develop their circles and develop in a place that's comfortable for them. Like,
I was very against reading this series. I didn't know Suzanne Collins had another series, and I had actually bought him the book. I think that's on the other bookshelf. We have a lot of bookshelves at this house.
yes.
But I had actually bought him the book, and I was like, and so he started reading it. He was like, "Oh, it's so good, it's so good."
Yeah.
And so we went to the library and we got the other books, and then they didn't have all the books. So then his dad bought him the series for Christmas, and I was like, I am not going to read a book about rodents. I do not like bugs. I do not like anything that has to do with creepy crawlers.
Roaches.
Yeah, I'm not. So, as a person who is afraid of bugs and does not like rodents, this was amazing. And I think it brings about it from a kid's perspective, because kids can look at things in a way that adults can't.
Yes.
And it makes it very real to kids, so that when they do grow up and they do start forming those friendships, or they do start meeting people who are slightly different than them, it's not a thing like, ooh, you know, because you're different, or you wear your hair different, or
yes,
you talk different, you know.
For sure. And there's also, like the other books, there's a lot to do with family and that connection as well. You'll see his struggles with pursuing and searching for his father, as well as trying to take care of his young sister. They're not the wealthiest of people. They're living in New York in an apartment and without a father. And you know, you can only imagine how difficult that is, but that's something that he finds a way to bond with his family and ensure that he can do that. So it is really a captivating story, an excellent book, something I truly recommend. So,
yeah, I would definitely recommend it too. What age group do you think?
I'm thinking anywhere from 8 to my age. I mean, you could be
He's
an adult.
18.
You could be an adult and read this book. It was that
Listen
good.
to him talk about himself and call himself an adult. Like, listen at this, y'all.
Yeah.
So, the last book, and there are a lot of books. Like, probably we might do this series more. I'm trying to pull him over, y'all, so y'all can see that handsome face. We might do another one of these, but the last series that I did read as a child that I really loved that has stayed with me, and the reason why I had these books is because these books have stayed with me. I am 40 plus, and these books have stayed with me since like 10, 11, around that age. So, is B.C. Andrews Heaven. This book is not for kids, and this is why I wanted this to be the last book that
No wonder I haven't heard of
I
it.
went over. So I was the kind of kid who was adventurous.
Oh my God. What is going on?
And both of my parents read. Both of my parents were into reading. My aunt was really into reading. And so my sister. So I picked this book up off of my sister's bookcase. And I started reading this book. This book has incest in it. This book has, abuse, SA and all that in it. So, it was very interesting. It had a lot of action and drama in it. And it did keep me captivated. But one of the things that I do want to say is, as a parent, as you begin to get your kids into reading and introduce them to things, it's important to look through the book, analyze what they're reading. Because my mother didn't read this series, but my parents would just be like, oh, it's good they're reading. Oh, I'm glad they're reading. And my mom would read to Stephen King. Like, she would read that as a bedtime story. So at this point, but I would not want my little to read this. Now, maybe 16, 17, 18 in that age group, but this is a very good series as an adult if you want to read this series. I wasn't really into, she also wrote Flowers in the Attic, and there's some other books. I wasn't really into Flowers in the Attic, but I really loved Heaven. So if you have a little one, even in the kids section, I would still go through the book just to see if it's a subject matter that you would be okay with them reading, because this was not it.
But something you would definitely recommend to readers.
Oh yeah, something I would definitely recommend to readers. Just not really young readers like I was. I think I was maybe 9.
Yeah, no. Double
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I took off reading and I read everything I could get my hands on. So like, oh my God.
It's
And
too
it was
bad
just,
you didn't have these series to read when you were little.
I know. And it was sort of like, you know how you're a little kid and you're watching a movie that you know you're not supposed to watch, and you're going like this, or your parents tell you to cover your eyes and you're like, So that's how I was reading those. So I would stay up all night reading it. I would read, but not appropriate. And my friends would read them too. Actually, I took them to school, and me and my friends and I,
Oh, no.
we started reading all of her books, buying them. I would walk to the bookstore. We had a bookstore. It was 2 miles from our house. I would have them drop me off at a halfway point, and I would walk the rest of the way, and then I would walk all the way home to spend my money before my mom got home on books like this. Not appropriate. But I turned out okay. But,
I
you
mean,
just want to
look
be
how I
on that.
turned out. It's okay.
You just want to be careful.
I will say something that my mom and I can definitely agree on is that you know that you're into a book if you're staying up all night reading it. Like, if you just can't put that book down, that's how you know it's a quality book. And that's something I can say for all of these that I showed you guys today. If you're into action, adventure, fantasy, I'll let you know.
covered.
Mm-hmm.
And tell them about our thing when we read. What time did we read?
I was around maybe 8-ish
9
to bed.
before
8, 9,
bed
yeah.
every day.
And then you just get into that habit, and then you're perfect.
And it built his vocabulary.
And it'll build your sleep.
And he's a math person, math science-ish person, but he does have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to English and communication. He doesn't have an issue with it.
Yes.
Whereas some people are like sort of one-dimensional. It just expanded him.
Yes. And of course, that can go all ways. So reading is definitely a skill that I think everyone should take advantage of.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's it. He's got to go back to college.
Yes. They're done.
And I hope you guys have a lovely week.
Yes. And I hope you enjoyed our video. Please hit the like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell to get notified of our great videos that we're going to be posting here on this channel.